Well, there's that fella who wasn't strapped into his hang glider. I found him interesting.
Oh,
I don't know if we ever discussed, and maybe I'm wrong. I've talked about it in my private life, but like the missionary who went to the island of uncontacted peoples and got
I was
arrowed
just
the
thinking
fuck
of
up.
him.
Interesting story as well. There's the woman who farted very loudly in like the Dollar
Can
General.
we do the mercenary, dude? Have we
Or the
discussed him on the
missionary.
show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big
What is
difference.
it? That is different. Yeah, if he was a mercenary, he would have fared better.
he would have fared much better. So I want to say it's a very remote island off the coast of India, I think, because now
Way
we're trying to
off the coast, though. Like, did
Yeah.
you see it on a map? I'm gonna try and
I think it's
find
called
it.
North Sentinel Island.
and these people on this island are like an uncontacted tribe for the most part, and they've been genetically isolated for like 30,000 years or something like that, some absurd amount of time. They're their own people, and this dumbass missionary goes over there and tries to press his religious beliefs on these people, and go figure, they shoot him full of arrows. Apparently got him in the eye. An accurate bunch over there. They
Nice.
arrowed him the fuck up, killed his ass. And now, like, I believe that the U.S. is asking India to go in and recover the body, and the Indians are like, no, we don't. We call that Death Island. No, last time we sent some people over there, we sent them a bit of curry, and they never came back. They were eaten. They were
You know
eaten
what we
by
should
the
do?
island.
We should like airdrop them just modern snacks
Jesus.
because they would love that. Like they'd probably be really happy. Or if they just like, if they saw an Indian guy just like slingshotting them Pringles or something.
You joke? Someone did that. They pull up on a boat to the shallows and they start throwing coconuts at these motherfuckers on the beach. And they're collecting those coconuts like it's fucking can't. They're like, oh, fucking free coconuts. And they're just like they keep like dropping them, when like a kid or
They're
like
so happy with their coconuts.
in the Tom and Jerry cartoons, the mouse would like keep trying to get all of the cheese, and he'd have it like 8 times taller than him, but he keeps dropping it all, and he wants more cheese, but he just every time he gets a new piece of cheese, he drops 2 more, and that's how they are with these coconuts.
That's their culture. Like 50 years from now, like grandkids are gonna be like, Grandpa, tell me about when the coconut man came.
Dude.
Oh, you won't believe it, son. This man came with it was, if it was a dozen, it was 1,000. I tell you, he's keeping coconut. But I mean like real snacks, like stuff they can't get Reese's Fast Breaks there.
They didn't even, they had like wooden tools for ages, right? That was the best they could do. And then a boat accidentally ran aground on shore, right? And I think a helicopter came and rescued the people off the boat. They didn't even go on the island because they were like attacking them from the island. And there's a reason for that I'll circle back to. But now they have metal tools. They've been taking slices of metal off of this sunken ship for like 30, 50 years now. And just now they have like wooden or metal arrowheads and stuff like that. It turns out that a long time ago, like in the 1800s, this guy came to their island and treated them like animals. Right, they're like measuring their dick, and they're like measuring their dick to see how long it is, and like looking at their breeding, writing down notes, and treating them like probing them and shit. And ever since then, as soon as a white guy comes to the island, they're like, "Fuck that!" and they just start immediately shooting arrows at him. And this missionary was like, it could be a little dicey, but I'm gonna try and bring them the word of God. And they're like, "No way, we are not interested in your fake God," and they killed him. God did not protect him.
Here's
the great
like this,
coconut in the sky protect us.
Here's let me link it to you, but you probably want to like screen this on a different screen, Woody, because even though it's like Nat Geo style nudity, like you can still see some dicks on there. I'm not sure how strict they would be, but this is just from a Twitter thread of this guy who is like apparently obsessed with this whole thing you were just discussing of that guy going over there in the 1800s. So the first part, it's just a picture of this dude who's like a fucking foot taller than all these other adults because he got nutrition and wasn't like waiting for the coconut man to show up. But this guy's beginning of explanation is, there's a lot of talk about how the missionary killed by the natives of North Sentinel Island. They're probably so aggressive because of this weirdo, Maurice Vidal Portman. So here's a big thread about this creeps and some of facts from my decade-long obsession with the island. The Sentinelese are often described as uncontacted. That's not true. They had a very significant contact in 1880 with Commander Portman. Portman, the black sheep son of some minor noble, was assigned by the English Royal Navy to administer and pacify the Andaman Islands, a job he pursued from 1880 to 1900 with the full measure of his own pervacity.
Pervacity. So he's a pervert. I had
He's
to
a big
process
pervert.
the word. Yeah.
Portman was erotically obsessed with the Andamanese, and he indulged his passion for photography by kidnapping members of various tribes and posing them in mock Greek homoerotic compositions.
Nice.
During his 20 years in a sexualized heart of darkness, Portman measured and cataloged every inch of his prisoners' bodies with an obsessive love on genitals. This is something from the guy's diary. Lending support to Mary Louise Pratt's notion of bodyscape and theo-colonial gaze, male genitalia appear to have been a particular point of fascination. Oh, this is not from this. This is analysis of it, sorry. Appear to be a particular point of fascination for Portman and Molesworth. One man is described as having, quote, atrophied testicles, both being hard but the size of hedge sparrow's eggs. The same individual is also marked by the observation, penis small, with moderate size prepuce. Another one, penis larger than usual, summarizes a man named Churko. Tlee is described as the chief of Interview Island and a man of considerable authority and intelligence, but also equipped with a bad temper and genitals that are, quote, fully developed but small. See, he's like, he was trolling in 1880. Just imagine being a Neolithic person spending a few weeks in this guy's rotating menagerie. Portman spent most of his time in the greater Andaman Islands, but in 1880 he landed on North Sentinel. The natives fled, and his party ventured inland to find a settlement which had been abandoned in haste. But they located an elderly couple and a few children they were able to abduct. The couple died quickly, likely from ailments to which they had no immunity. The children spent a few weeks with Portman doing God knows what, after which he returned them to the island. Portman returned on a couple occasions, but the Sentinelese hid each time. The story related by the children was certainly passed down among the 100 or so inhabitants of the island, and even today. Portman's fatal kidnapping is just beyond a human lifetime. So when the Indian government attempted contact and anthropologists in the 1960s and 70s, the Sentinelese were understandably hostile to outsiders. In 1981, a cargo ship named the Primrose ran aground on the coral reef surrounding North Sentinel. The crew radioed for assistance and settled in for a long wait. But in the morning, they saw 50 men with bows on the beach building makeshift boats. The crew called for an emergency airlift and were evacuated, and not a moment too soon. Rough waves had thwarted the Sentinelese in their attempts to board, but the weather was clearing. The ship and its cargo were left at the island, awaiting discovery by Neolithic eyes. Today, you can see the gutted remains of the Primrose on Google Earth. Imagine climbing on board that ship, a completely alien vessel filled with alien things. Imagine seeing simple machines for the first time, a hinge, a latch, a wheel, things that would instantly make sense in a satisfying way. Others would be so incomprehensible to avoid notice. I have never been able to find out what the cargo was on the Primrose in all my years of reading. There are about 100 tons of some sort of consumer product on board, and I'm curious what it was. But even absent the cargo, think about all the things that must have been on that ship. In the 90s, anthropologists returned to the island to make new attempts at contact. They were met with a different attitude. Not friendly, but they were willing to accept gifts. Here's a video of the encounter. You can notice that these pre-Iron Age people now had metal weapons, like the knife carried by this man. They had scavenged metal from the Primrose and cold forged it into tools. This just goes on for a while, so I'm gonna stop there. But
am I the only one who doesn't think that these uncontacted tribes need to be preserved like some sort of fucking Neolithic like world in a bottle or something, like a snow globe of ancient times?
You think that we should catalog their penis sizes?
Look, we should go in there and just
a confident man, but a small dick.
Weird. He got leadership position at 5 inches.
Lots of power, but small.
Much larger than right, but both quite firm.
And I also don't believe that they like walk in there and they see a latch the first time and they're like, "Oh!" Like I don't.
You don't think so?
If I walk on an alien ship and there's something that I've never even conceived of on there, I don't see it and go, of course, this is how you do this. Like I feel like you need some sort of like teaching method to get you off,
That's
like
racist.
What?
Yeah, I don't know, Taylor. Like, it's weird because I feel like the kinds of things that I would learn from are no longer simple. We figured out the simplest of simple things, like the screw and the wedge and the wheel and such. But these guys, they didn't have all that worked out. I wonder what
you could totally see something that you hadn't personally worked out, but you could immediately recognize utilitarian nature of it and you'd be like, so that's how that works. Like if you found a wheelbarrow but with no wheels, but when you grab the handles it just started levitating, you'd be like, oh shit, look at this. It's a levitating wheelbarrow. And to them, they see a wheelbarrow and they're like, oh, shit, we've just been dragging things around on flattened out logs since time immemorial.
We were told for thousands of years, you will not improve on the laid down log method. Like there's one guy there who crops up every few generations who's like, God, fucking Ubudo over there, thinking he's going to change the world with his latches and his knobs. And get this. He chopped a tree into segments, right? Keep listening. Hilarious, I know. Puts a hole in the middle, a stick through that, rolls it around, calls it a wheel. What's wrong with pulling a log, Ubuntu? You're too good for log pulling. That's probably what they go through there.
He is too weak to pull log.
I was
they'll
thinking
laugh at him.
Like, ever think like go? At what period of time would you be a genius? Right?
Probably never.
I'm no astronomer, but my basic understanding of stars and Earth rotations and the planets would be pretty elite at some period of time.
Yeah, but you couldn't prove it, right? I feel like it depends. If you really put some thought into it, I feel like you could go back to like the early 1900s and you could really get some shit done, right? Like you would hire the experts to put your ideas into practice. Like I don't know how to make penicillin, but I know how to make penicillin, right? It's bread mold. So if I got myself like a couple of like 1897 scientists together and was like, look, I don't know when penicillin was invented, by the way, clearly. I think it was early 1900s.
1930s, I think.
In any case, I'd be like, look, there's this thing called penicillin. It's literally bread mold. I don't know if it's a special bread. I don't know if we gotta I don't know if we gotta get some rye or some pumpernickel. I don't know if it needs to be moist first, if somebody needs to poop on it. But this bread mold cures everything. Absolutely everything that we've had a problem. Syphilis, say no more. 3 days, you're good to go.
Dude, I have the same problem of not exactly knowing enough to be useful. Like, guys, exactly. I know that with a lemon or a potato or something, I can make a battery. That's as much as I know. So we're going to be poking around with wires and shit for somebody. Anyone have a small light bulb? We can see if it's working.
Also, by the way, has anyone invented wires yet? Shit. All right.
I'm going to need to go.
I'm so fucking dumb. Like, I would be trying to, like, come up with a thing, like an invent the math needed to prove that, like, a star placement there was different. But really, I just have to go to one of the smart people at the age and be like, hey, that star I'm pointing at right now, tonight, remember where that is? And then the next morning, I'd be like, it's over there now.
I'm pretty sure
I don't know what it means, but you do. Like, we're moving.